Hey guys, Joseph Henson here with Henson CPA Group. I want to talk about some representation stuff with the IRS tonight. More importantly, what happens, how you approach it, your first steps. I kind of went through one of these a couple weeks ago, but this is going to be part two. What happens after you hire IRS representation? Again, I'm Joseph Henson with Henson CPA Group. Thank you guys for being here. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know at the end. You can email me, you can leave a comment, we'll get back to you. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Why representation exists. Most people assume that when you get an IRS notice, they must handle everything themselves. This is not the case. Tax representation exists because the IRS communication can become complex quickly. Even very small mistakes can escalate penalties and interest. Business owners shouldn't navigate this alone. You don't want to go into a high stakes negotiation alone. You don't want to do that with this either, because at the end of the day, this is a negotiation, and having an experienced professional changes the process significantly. The first step of any representation, whether it's with me, whether it's with someone else, is that you will need to have the proper forms filled out so the IRS will actually authorize someone to speak, negotiate, and work on your behalf. This will typically involve a signed authorization form. It also involves granting the representative a permission to communicate with the IRS and allowing them to review account details on your behalf. Once this happens, communication can begin moving through your representative instead of directly through you. This step alone often brings immediate relief to business owners, because now you're not the only one that's getting all the communication. You don't have to go with the IRS to talk to them by yourself. You don't even have to necessarily go if you have the right POA sign, the power of attorney. It can be a huge relief just knowing, hey, this is being handled and handled correctly. Understanding the full situation. One of the first priorities in representation is understanding the complete picture. This will involve reviewing the IRS transcripts, any notices received, your filing history. It will also involve looking at the outstanding balances and penalties. When do these fall off? By fall off, I mean, when is the statute expiring? This is stuff that you have to dig into, have to be able to understand. And the goal is just to understand what actually happened. Not just what the notice says. How did this come about? Was there a material misunderstanding of some sort of income? Did you overstate your expenses, understating your income? What happened? We want to find that out and understand the entire situation behind it. Identifying the real problem. Not every IRS issue is going to be the same, but here are some common ones. Your unfiled tax returns. I haven't filed in 5 years because it's just stressful. I owed the first year and I didn't want to think about it. You have balance due notices. I didn't have the money right on hand. I figured I'd get it later. I was supposed to have a big check coming in. Next thing you know, my $20,000 balance due is $30,000 because of interest and penalties, and I don't have it. And now my next payment's due and I don't have that either. If you have payroll tax issues, hey, I didn't make these payments to the IRS. That's an issue. Income reporting mismatches. What is this? You had a lot of money come in on a 1099K, and what you reported for your tax return doesn't match. And then penalties and interest. This is for failure to file, failure to pay. These can add up extremely quickly. We want to make sure that we see what's going on to try to mitigate that. Each scenario does require a different approach, and representation will focus on determining the most appropriate path forward. It's not a one size fits all. Just like it's not always the same from one surgery to the next, this is also different every single time. Even if the steps can be the same in some areas, your situation is unique but fixable. Communication with the IRS. Once representation begins, the representative communicates directly with the IRS. Now, I want you to hear this. Do not go and talk to the IRS by yourself anymore. You hired a representative for a reason. So when the representative is communicating with the IRS, they will request information or clarification when needed. And then they will also respond to notices and deadlines. Some of this is automated, some is very manual. You have to make sure the representative knows what they're doing. The deadline's in 2 weeks. Cool. Can we get an extension of time because it's going to take us longer? You brought this late. Do we need more time because we need to rebuild your books? They weren't ever done correctly, or we need to file tax returns different. Do we need to go to the state? Do you have an issue there? These are all things that have to happen. And with communication handled by the representative, it can happen. This will remove a major burden from business owners just because of the fact you don't have to worry about saying something the incorrect way or over delivering. Instead of guessing what to say or how to respond, you have someone managing the process from beginning to end now. Evaluating resolution options. Once the situation is fully understood, potential solutions can be explored. What does that really mean? Well, it really depends on your circumstances. Do you qualify for a payment plan? Can you get penalty relief opportunities? We have to get your unfiled returns caught up. So we're going to start with that. And then balance resolution strategies. If you owe a large balance, what can that actually look like? How can we resolve that in your favor? Not every option is going to apply in every situation. Like I said, the key is going to be determining what is appropriate and realistic based on the facts of your situation. Preventing future problems. Good representation doesn't just resolve the current issue. It will also focus on preventing the same situation from happening again. Now, that may include improving your bookkeeping processes. If you've been doing it in-house, you might need to outsource it. Adjusting your estimated tax payments. If you've just been waiting until year end because cash flow, it doesn't get better at the year end. You might need to do quarterly payments. That's part of becoming compliant. Reviewing payroll tax procedures. Were you not remitting payroll taxes? Well, we have to stop that. Most systems nowadays will make you submit payroll taxes and all the other reports automatically. You don't have a choice. It might be time to move to one of those. Even if that means you as the business owner might have to go ahead and take a little bit of a pay cut while we get it figured out. And then implementing better financial oversight, more meetings with your accountant, more meetings with your outsourced CFO. This is all going to build towards the long-term goal of stability. We need to have a goal for long-term stability because you can't keep doing the exact same thing every single time. What clients often experience. So instead of wondering what the IRS will do next, losing sleep over notices or what's going to happen, and trying to interpret confusing letters, business owners have clarity about what the problem actually is. You get a letter, you have to read through it. It's terrifying. But with this step, you know what the problem is because we're going to let you know and explain it to you. Then what is the plan moving forward? Step 1, we have to get an extension for time because you aren't compliant with this, or this. Step 2, we need to get you compliant with this, or this. You might not have filed your last 6 years worth of tax returns. It's time to start. And then step 3, what steps are being taken to resolve it? We're working through this together, so you're not alone anymore. When it makes sense to seek representation. Not every notice requires professional representation. When does it make sense? When you get multiple notices in your mailbox and there's multiple things happening at once. There are several years of tax issues. If you owe or haven't filed for several years, this is an issue we have to resolve. Penalties are accumulating, especially if you owe tens of thousands of dollars. We need to start mitigating this and getting it corrected. Payroll taxes are involved. This is one of the easiest loans to take and one of the hardest for you to pay back. And then the situation feels overwhelming. If it's overwhelming to you, it's time to get someone outside to help you. Whether that's us, whether that's someone else, find a qualified CPA, EA, or tax attorney who can assist with this. If you've received an IRS notice and aren't sure what it means or what your options are, we do offer free strategy calls to review the situation to help you understand your next steps. You can find our booking link below you can reach us by phone, or you can give me an email, joseph@hensoncpagroup.com. I appreciate you guys coming out today. If you have any questions, please